What is going on, family? It's your boy Terrell Bennett with Forex Executives, man, and this is the weekly Forex technical analysis breakdown. I'm gonna be running through a few pairs, man, and we got some big plays this week, man. And I feel like this week is gonna be a phenomenal week. I've been killing the market over these past 2 weeks. We've been on a roll, and I just want to keep the ball rolling, man. Keep applying this pressure, man. So let's just jump into it. First things first, Euro USD. I seen a lot of people trying to short this thing last week, and I actually got caught up in it. I jumped in a tad bit early, took an L on it, but I end up catching it all the way up here at 114.21, right at this trend line area. And now, I'm looking pretty good. I'm up about 100 and maybe 10, 115 pips or something like that. So it's looking pretty good right now. And I'm going to be taking this thing down all the way to 1.12, which is this pretty much this recent low area down here. All right, so let's just jump into it, man. The weekly analysis, we got a nice bearish pin bar right off of our weekly trend line that the market pushed up and was rejected. So, my whole thing is just finding my direction. That's three things that I do when I'm analyzing the market. I find my direction, I find my take profit, and I find an area where I'm going to look to take an entry at. All right, so me looking at this bearish pin bar, all right, we can see that price tried to push higher and was rejected automatically. All right, so being that we did get this candle, that's kind of giving me my idea of what my direction may be for the upcoming week, which is short. All right, so this area is a little tricky because 1.13 area is a weekly support area. You can see it passed. It tapped this area multiple times and was rejected multiple times. All right, so selling into this is a little tricky. It's a little tricky. Like I say, I caught my entry up here, so I'm pretty good. Even if the market was to pull all the way back, this trade is risk-free, so I'm not gonna lose no money. All right, but selling into this thing is a little tricky. So I will wait for a break, a pullback, and then a continuation to the downside. All right, but just looking at this pin bar, all right, we got our direction for the week, and you can see that the market is pulled back already, and it looks like it's creating that weekly wick for the weekly candle. All right, so let's just break this thing down to the daily and kind of see what's going on. All right, like I said, the market did push up to this area and was rejected. So what I want to see the market do is what it's already doing. I wanted to see the market kind of pull back because I knew we was at a structure area, and if it was going to bounce and try to fake a lot of people out, this would be the area that it would do it. All right, so it looks like it's doing that. It's bouncing just to fake a lot of traders out. This is a good key area to take long. So I can see a lot of newbie traders jumping into the market to take this thing long right now. But the market maker is going to be like, no, give me that money, give me that bread. We're going to continue to push this thing short. So, and that's kind of what's happening right now. So, I wanted to see the market pull back at the beginning of the week. I might compound this trade, but I want to see a break and a close below this weekly support area, and then a pullback to it, and then a continuation to the downside. But let's just jump on. Let's drop this thing down to the H4, and I'm gonna show you a little trick, right? So trend lines are a big thing that I've been implementing in my trading recently, and it's been working like hell. So I'm gonna show you guys something, right? So with a trend line, I want to touch as many candles as possible. All right, let's just make this thing infinity. Okay. And so now what I'm looking, if I want to compound this trade, this is what I'm looking for price to do. I want to see price push down, all right, below this trend line, pull back, retest, and then give me a move all the way down to that 1.12 area that I'm looking to take profit at, all right, which is around this area. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna be looking to take profit around here. Okay, so that's one thing that I will be looking at. Just pay attention to this pair. Like I say, selling into this market, into this support area is not a good idea because it could easily just bounce. All right, but I like to paint multiple scenarios. So if it did bounce, I'm not worried about it because, like I said, the trade is risk free. I am a swing trader, so I'm gonna just let this thing ride. But what I want to see, sorry about that. What I want to see is I want to see the market push down, pull back, retest this trend line and its weekly resistance. Especially if we get a close below, this support will turn to resistance. Retest this area and then continue to give us a move on down. All right, so let's just jump over to the next chart. Euro New Zealand dollar. I actually murdered this trade last week. I had been in it for a while, maybe 10, 11, 12 days. I jumped in up here at 1.6707 and I ended up taking profit down here at 1.6450 area. So it was a nice trade. I got like 200 some pips out of the deal. So that was a pretty phenomenal trade that I took. So just looking at this weekly candle from last week, got us a nice bearish engulfing right off of this channel high, and the market is still trading in this channel. And I think that the market is going to continue to go short. I think it's going to continue to, plummet, which is a good thing because I'm going to be able to jump in and catch another entry. So that's one thing that I'm looking to do this week on this pair. So let's just break this thing down to the daily. Okay, so the market did, like I say, push down. All right, it pulled back. All right, made a nice little lower low. Look like the market is pushing back up to retest these lows. But I actually want to see the market pull back all the way to this area before we get a move, continuation move to the downside to these recent lows, or even lower down to this 1.63. I think I got a TP at 63.20. All right, and you may be looking at this chart like, why do you care about this zone right here? And I'm gonna just show you. Right, this zone is what I like to call the kill zone. All right, and that's the area on your Fibonacci retracement tool between the 50 and the 61.8. Anybody that have traded with fibs, you know that the 61.8 is the golden number. That's what a lot of these institutions and these banks jump into the market to reverse price and continue on down. So I want to see the market push back up. I want to see the market push back up into this kill zone. All right, give me a nice little bearish engulfing bearish pin bar on the H4, something like that, so I can take this thing on down to these recent lows or even to my long-term target at 1.6320. All right, so that's one thing that I'll be keeping my eye on this upcoming week on this pair. I've been in this trade. This pair actually has become one of my favorite pairs over the past few weeks. So I'm just looking to continue to capitalize on this pair. All right, next pair, Euro CAD. I haven't traded Euro CAD in a long time, and if you look back at my previous videos, man, I love this pair a lot, and I'm looking at this pair this week because I want to see a short. All right, we did get this nice little bullish engulfing candle going up, but you can see that price was rejected at this weekly resistance area. All right, it was rejected back here, came up for a retest, rejected again. So I want to see a third tap, a third retest of this area, and I think this thing is just going to fall off the face of the earth, to be honest. So let's just drop down to the daily and see what's going on. Okay, like I said, the market pushed up. We got us a nice rejection, and then it retested again. We got us a rejection. So I want to see that third retest and get a nice bearish candle either on the H4 or on the H1 to take this thing all the way down, all right, to this area right here. So that is one thing I will be looking for when it comes to Euro CAD. All right, so let's jump over to the next chart. Great British Pound Jappy. I've been staying away from the Great British Pound pairs over the past 2-3 weeks. I know the Brexit thing came out a few weeks ago. So I just been staying clear of them, man. I haven't been really messing with them. You can see that the market pushed up to this weekly resistance area, shot down, shot back up, shot down. So I just been chilling, man. I just been watching the market. So honestly, on this pair, man, I'm thinking that this thing is going to continue to short. We did get a nice little bearish candle on a weekly. Let's just drop back to the weekly. We did get a nice little bearish candle on a weekly. So I think this thing is going to continue to go short. I'm going to just draw this trend line real fast, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm waiting to happen, right? Before I bust any move on Great British Pound Jappy, all right, you can see that the market broke this trend line, right? It tested it, closed above it, tested, closed above it, tested, closed above it, and we finally got, it's looking like we getting the close below this thing. I want to see a close below. And even though this candle may close below, I think we may get a retest one more time and then a continuation to the downside. All right. Let's just drop down to the H4, see what's going on. Okay, so we are getting a nice bearish candle right here on the H4, and you know what, it may be game time to take this thing short. So I'm gonna just keep my eye on it. I usually don't trade on Mondays, but I'm gonna just keep my eye on this pair. Like I said, I want to see a retest one more time and then a continuation. Now, if it doesn't retest and it just fall off the face of the earth, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, missing a trade, I'm fine with it. I'm perfectly fine with that. It happens all the time. You're not gonna catch every single trade. All right, so just be patient. Let the trade come to you. Don't force the trade, because if you miss a trade, there's going to be plenty of opportunities. But like I said, I want to see a close below this trend line, possible retest, and then a move all the way down to this 142.80 area. Okay, and then last but not least, AUD USD. All right. Sorry, my computer's acting a little crazy right now. Let's just jump on a weekly. On the weekly, we got this nice bearish pin bar. Same as Euro USD. We did get this nice bearish pin bar off of the weekly resistance area, which lines right up with this weekly trend line. That's two confluences, and I guarantee you, if I throw the fib on this thing, it's going to give us a 78.6 retracement. Boom, tap right to 78.6. So that was the optimal area to get into this chart. I mean, to this trade right here. But I missed it. It is what it is. You know, for the people that did get in that area, hey, kudos to you, man. You killed it. So, you know, I'm looking for the market to push up a little bit, like it's doing right now, and then a continuation to the downside. All right, all the way down to these recent lows, or even all the way down to these recent lows. Sorry, let me just change this. All right, and you may be looking like, why did I put my take profit there? All right, because the market bounced off the 78.6. All right, and usually when the market bounces off the 78.6 or the 61.8, all right, it's going to terminate down here at the negative 27. And you look at my old videos, I don't usually take profit right at the negative 27 because sometimes the market don't go all the way down there. So I like to put my take profit a little bit above, maybe, you know, 10, 20 pips above the take profit, and then, you know, just to secure it, just to secure the profits, man. So that's why I'm looking to take profit down here in this area, this 1.6950 area. Okay, so let's just drop down to the daily. Let's see what's going on. Like I say, it's like we getting this nice little pullback, which is normal. It's the beginning of the week. It's perfectly fine. But what I want to see is, I'm going to pull the trend line out one more time. I want to see a break of this trend line, right? Let's drop down to the H4. And let's get it a little bit more precise. Okay. And the market actually did break, and it's looking like it's pulling back to retest this area. It looked like it did. It tried to come back to retest this area and then give us a continuation to the downside. A nice little bearish candle on the H4, and it'll be game time to take this thing south to the 70-20 area at the recent low, or even at the long-term target of 69.50. So that's one thing that I will be keeping my eye on. Keep your eye on these pairs, man, and hopefully we have a phenomenal trading week. Hope everybody have a blessed trading week. Kill the market, study, put the work in, put the time in, and stay focused, stay disciplined, and let's get it.